This video gives a quick introduction about the t-distribution. So t-distribution also has a bell shape, but its tails are thicker than the normal distribution. Therefore, observations are more likely to fall beyond 2 or 3 standard deviations from the mean under the t-distribution than under the normal distribution. So this is how the t-distribution looks like compared to the normal distribution. T-distribution is a solid curve and a normal distribution is a dot curve. As we can see, the solid curve or the t-distribution has a fatter tail than the normal distribution or the dotted curve. So the t-distribution always centered at 0, just like a standard normal distribution. It has a single parameter, which is the degree of freedom. The degree of freedom is related to the number of observations in the sample. In the case of the mean, the degree of freedom is equal to the number of observations minus 1. So if we look at this relationship between the t-distribution and the normal distribution, the black curve is a t-distribution. So this is a black curve with a t-distribution with a degree of freedom 1. The red curve is the t-distribution with a degree of freedom 4. The green curve is the t-distribution degree of freedom 7, and the blue curve is a standard normal distribution. So if we look at the data or look at the graph closely, what happens to the shape of the t-distribution compared to the normal distribution as the degree of freedom increases? Pause the video and think about it for a moment. So as we can see, as the degree of freedom increase, go from 1 to 7, let's say. So in this case, it go from the black curve to the green curve. Then we see that the green curve, which has a degree of freedom 7, looks a lot more like the blue curve, which is a standard normal distribution. Right? So as the degree of freedom increases, the t-distribution approaches the normal distribution. And as a result, as the number of observations in the sample increases, the t-distribution approaches the normal distribution. And the reason, again, what we said earlier, is that the degree of freedom is related to the number of observations. In the case of the means, degree of freedom is equal to number of observations minus 1. So if the larger degree of freedom is, the larger the number of observation is, and vice versa. So the reason why I introduce the degree of freedom and the t-distribution here is that when we use data to do our analysis, the default is that data are going to report to you the result of the t-distribution. And you will see the t-score and the p-value. We're going to talk about it in later video. Everything is based on the t-distribution. But as the number of observation increases, then the t-distribution looks like the normal distribution. So in essence, as the number of observation increases and approach infinity, then it doesn't really matter whether we use a t-distribution or the normal distribution.